Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Lynn Loving Life and I am Lynn. Today my Fro Bella and I are out in all our glory because we're celebrating. What are we celebrating, you may ask? We're celebrating the fact that I turned 30. Yes, this here is the face of a 30-year-old. And what I wanted to do in this video is to share with you some of the lessons that I learned in my 20s. You see, what I like to do on my birthday is to take some time to look back and see what I learned, see what I need to do differently moving forward. This time I wrote it in my journal, so I'm going to take some time and share some of the things that I wrote with you. So let's get into the video. The first thing I learned is that life is not perfect. Life can be a little hard sometimes. I remember growing up, I used to always think, you see, when I turn 20 or when I'm an adult, I would be able to do as I please, when I please, how I please. It would just be perfect. In my mind, being adult was just the perfect situation because then I could just fulfill all my wishes. I had in my mind, there was no inhibitions or anything until, of course, life and adulthood hit you and you realize it is not all that you thought it would have been. It is a little hard, actually. It is not perfect at all. It is filled with trials and tribulations. Of course, there are successes, there are great moments, but there are moments that knock you off your feet sometimes. And that is the beauty of life. Life can be hard sometimes. So I learned that in my 20s. The second thing I learned in my 20s is that you can't just talk about your goals. You can't just say, oh yeah, I want to do this or I can do this. Even if you have the ability to do it, you can't just say, I can do this. You have to you have to put in the work. So yes, you can't just talk, you have to actually walk the walk and do the work too. So I learned that in my 20s because there were instances in my 20s when I would yap and not do the work and then get depressed about it. So I learned that it's not enough to just talk. You have to do the work as well. Thirdly actually, this one, it is okay to outgrow friends and people in general. I remember I had a really hard experience, a few hard experiences outgrowing friends in my 20s. It took some time for me to get over it because those were people that I grew up with, that, let's say, people that were in secondary school with me, people that I loved like sisters. And I realized that my mentality, their mentality is different. My definition of friendship and their definition of friendship is different. And so I had to let go of those friendships. And I had to find it within myself to be okay with letting go of those friendships. And I want to encourage you, if you find yourself in a place where the people you grew up with, you realize that your basic ideology, your philosophies, your actions, their actions, they're not coming together. And I'm not talking about little differences because we are people and we all are different. We will have differences in opinions and those things. So I'm not talking about simple differences, but I'm talking about fundamental truths that affect you. If you realize that you're outgrowing these people or you're going a different way from those people, it is okay to amicably say goodbye. I'm going this way, you're going this way, it's all right, it's all love. That is okay. And if it doesn't happen that it is amicable, just find it within yourself to be okay with that. You have to be able to be okay with sometimes things don't pan out the way you want it to, and sometimes not everybody will be going where you want to go or going with you, if you understand what I'm saying. So yeah, it is okay to outgrow friends. Fourth, you have to be honest with yourself. One of the biggest tools in my life that has helped me is introspection, an honest and deep introspection. Being able to see my faults, being able to call out my faults, being able to call out my flaws, being able to say when I am wrong. That has helped me tremendously. And if I can't do that, to me, if you can't do that, if I can't do that, there is no way true growth can happen if you can't be honest with yourself and accept the fact that You have flaws and faults. You're not perfect. So I learned that in my 20s as well. The sixth thing is that mental health is extremely important. Yes, guys. Mental health, let me say it again. Mental health is extremely important. It is important that we take care of our mind. And I think that can tie back into people, outgrowing people, because sometimes we hold on to things that are negative, to people that are negative, and we do not realize the impact it is having on us mentally. So you have to take care of your mind. It is okay to not be okay. It is okay to have, it's okay to realize that you're not in the space that you want to be. It's not okay to stay there. You have to get out, or you have to find, you have to make use of the resources that's at hand, or maybe find innovative ways to get out of a negative mental space. But you have to take care of your mental health. If everything is not well in there, if you're not good in there, nothing else matters. You could be in the best shape, you could be the richest person on earth. If up there is not good, nothing else matter. Ask people like Anthony Bourdain, who would have committed suicide, and we would look on the outside thinking he has such a perfect life. He goes about from country to country, eating food with affluent people, meeting the best people in the world, you know, and he killed himself. So mental health is extremely important. I learned that in my 20s. What I also learned is that it can either be a loss or a lesson. You decide. So you can go through life, you will go through life having trials, having failures, so to speak. But what is important is how you view those circumstances, how you view those situations and those occurrences. It can either be a loss or it can be a lesson. You can decide that, you know what, you could wallow in self-pity and look at it in a negative way and be like, oh, I lost. Or you can be positive about it and say, okay, it did not work out the way that I wanted it to, but what did I learn? And then it becomes a lesson, and then it allows you to grow, and it allows you to become a better person. It works wonders in your life. So it can either be a loss or a lesson, but the fact is that you decide. So then eighth thing is that the most important conversation you will ever have with is the one that you have with yourself. So let me say it again. The most important conversation you will ever have is the one that you will have with yourself. It matters not what anybody says to you about you, what you say to anybody about yourself. It matters what you say to you about yourself. Self-talk is extremely important. Self-talk is the vehicle behind you reaching all your goals. If you find yourself being extremely negative about yourself, change that today. Be intentional about the things that you say to yourself about yourself, because self-talk is extremely important. It can make or break you. Some people could be negative about you. People could say whatsoever they want about you. The Caribbean just came out to me there. People can say whatsoever they want about you. But if you as a person say negative things to yourself, you begin to believe it. It affects your ability to achieve your goals. It affects your ability to live a purposeful life. So self-talk is extremely important. I can't stress that enough. Now let's move on. Ninth thing I learned is you can lose everything in an instant. So you need to be grateful for everything you have in every moment of life. I have went through seasons where I thought life was perfect. And with one call, all the things that I thought made my life perfect would have just vanished. You just see it slip away. So you can't lose everything. So you have to be strong enough to be able to rebuild at any time, to be able to seek out new opportunities, to be able to make life again, and understand that things, money, they're not important. People are important. So because you can't lose everything in an instant, be grateful and understand what is important in life. The final thing, because I think this is number 10 now and it's already 10 minutes. The final thing I want to share with you that I have learned for my life is that God is necessary. And that is simple as I can put it. God is necessary. I have found myself in some very imbalanced position because I would have been focusing on everything else, every other relationship, but my relationship with God. And I found myself in the most unhappy positions because of that. And what I have realized is that when I refocus and when I remember that relationship, the horizontal relationship, the relationship between me and God, then everything could fall back in place. Then there are endless possibilities. And so it is very important to have a connection. To me, that's what I learned. It is very important to have a connection with God. I learned that in my 20s. So those are the things that I learned in my 20s. It was my pleasure sharing them with you. I hope that wherever you are in life, whether it be 20, 19, 35, you take some time to look back and to look for the lessons in life. Life affords us numerous lessons. It's up to us to look for them, to apply them so that we can be better moving forward. I love you guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Those of you continue to watch, share this video, like this video. Fro Bella and I are out. If you have not subscribed as yet, remember, subscribe, turn on your post notification, share this video with your friends so that they too can subscribe so that we can continue encouraging each other to live the best life possible. I am out. Goodbye.